Hi friends, today I'm going to talk about a freedom fighter who I think has not been given justice in our history textbooks. Okay, now this story will tell you something which will make you feel ashamed as well as something that will make you feel proud as an Indian. So watch till the end. The man I'm talking about is Shyamji Krishan Verma. Shyamji Krishan Verma was a freedom fighter and a lawyer. He studied in Oxford, came back to India, and he was a Diwan in some of the princely states. Then he was influenced by the Arya Samaj and Dayanand Saraswati, and he wanted to do something for India. He went to UK and he started writing articles and working for the freedom struggle. He set up the India Home Rule Society, the India House, where freedom fighters could meet and get together, and the India Sociological Journal. When he set up the India House, many greats like Dadabhai Naoroji, Lala Lajpat Rai, the Irish Republicans, the British Socialists, etc., they all came there. These engagements with the Socialists and the Labour Party and Irish proved very helpful in the final times, in 47 when India was to gain independence, as you know. Now, many freedom fighters collected at the India House. Lala Hardayal, Bikaji Kama, Savarkar, many names came to mind. They were all very heavily influenced by Shyamji Krishan Verma. In 1909, he was barred by the Inner Temple, one of the main bar associations in England, for what they considered as seditious writing. Sensing that British authorities would arrest him, he escaped to Paris, leaving the India House in charge of Savarkar. He stayed in Paris till around the start of the First World War, where he again sensed that France, now being in alliance with Britain, may hand him over, or he could be taken over by the British authorities. So he escaped to Geneva, where he stayed till his death in 1930. When he died in 1930, the British government tried a lot to suppress the news of his death, but it still reached India, and many, including Bhagat Singh, who was in jail at that time, paid tribute to him. Tilak had started an English newspaper called the Maratha, which also paid heavy tributes to him. He was the torchbearer, you can say, to many great Indian revolutionaries and freedom fighters. When he had died, just before that, he made a prepaid arrangement with some people in Geneva that for a prepaid, for 100 years, his ashes were to be agreement with them, that his ashes should only go back to a free India. Okay, and he paid the amount for 100 years. India got independent in 1947, and no one came to collect his ashes. Some people, it is said, that wrote to Indira Gandhi and she also agreed, but somehow in our system nothing moved, and that is what one feels ashamed, that his ashes lied there for all this while. Finally, in 2003, the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi ji, got his ashes back to India, and a monument in his name called the Kranti Tirth was built in his native place. That big, huge, beautifully done, you can say, memorial to him has a replica of the original India House of London. Friends, I want to ask you, do you think that we should know more about this person called Shyamji Krishan? Ask yourself, why is he not known to most Indians? Would it not make us feel proud as Indians? Thank you.